we're getting too comfortable for us to grab that. What? Are they doing anything?
Oh.
See? That's all I was thinking. Hybrid. That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of a hybrid.
Hey, Alice.
Hey, Alice.
How you doing, love? She will be getting her scheduled tomorrow. So I'll call you and let you know what day it'll be when we come out there. Hey, Pamela. How you doing, love? Just make sure that he knows where that ball and hitch is and everything. It's me and her and Scotty Wayne to come out there and get that stuff off the porch. She wants to get some stuff out of the house too. So
yes.
Hey, Judy. A little pain today. Bless you, love.
Ask a stupid question.
What?
A wolf part, sorry.
No.
I told you it was a stupid question.
Did you say, Christine?
Hey.
No, they don't bark. They howl. Hey, Alicia. How you doing?
Sloth. That'd be an interesting combination.
I'd like to have me one.
No. Okay, imagine. You're a part dog, but a part sloth at the same time.
That couldn't even go together. It'd be too slow.
Sloth.
I'd like to have one of them, though. They're slow and easy. Just like me. Just smooth sailing. There you go. Alice, how you feeling today, love? If y'all can hear me pretty good, give me a thumbs up. Hey, Lisanne. Yeah, it got a pretty hot day here, too. I had cranked the air up. Yeah, we've been thinking about that. You know, the bad part of the deal is not the medicine. It's that, the people you can trust when you're sleeping. If you get my drift. So just be careful. Good deal.
Did not work.
What did not work? Huh? My what?
Your talk from yesterday.
Well, somebody let somebody else in? Tell me who it was.
Yeah,
We'll settle it right now. Wells?
Yeah.
Who?
Sure, I can't pronounce that middle name.
Marlene? You know what to do. Correct? Do it. Hey, Sabina. Yeah, I'm just worried about when you're sleeping, Alice. Just be careful. But yeah, she gets, like I said, she gets her schedule tomorrow. We'll know exactly. Scotty come over a while ago and he said just let him know what day she's off, and we'll let you know tomorrow. Like I said, she wants to get some stuff out of the house and something about a purple blanket or something other, and some stuff that was her mom's. Um, so we'll get that table and chairs, and then whatever she's getting out of there. And she said something about some more movies. So if you know where them are,
Hey,
might want to round them up. Huh?
guess
What?
That Shutter Spot? It's Hollow Girl.
Oh, well, unblock it.
That's her.
Well, unblock it. So that's the way you test things. When you do that, then you can see who it is. We got this kind of, hey, Lynn, what are you doing standing in the dark? You changed your thing here on me. You remember that? Y'all remember that movie, I Shrunk the Kids? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's what that reminded me of. She's so little in there. He's outside. Let's go. Tonight, dadgummit, rain or shine, I'm going to try my best to get out there with that SLS camera and get it warmed up and film around with it. I want to see where somebody might be here on the property. Hey, Paula, how you doing, love? Hey, Tanya. Your phone died
I
last
wish I
night.
had my other phone with me. I can't spell.
You heard that he was in a pond and passing away. Good deal. Y'all have to overlook me now. I just got out there give them showers. I ain't, y'all just have to look over me. I forgot my hat.
Yeah.
It's in yonder. Oh well. Um. Anyway, Sabina said if she hits cancel on friend request, says she's sorry she had the baby in her arms. She'll fix it in a little while.
Huh?
Sabina said tell you that if she hit the cancel button on the friend request, that she
I
had.
haven't even been on Facebook yet.
She said that she had the baby in her arms. Hit it. Hey, Joni.
What she said?
Huh?
What Johnny said?
I all.
I can't let her back into it.
Huh?
I can't let her back into it.
Nothing. Don't worry about it. Everybody doing all right? 12 on, 8 likes. And yeah, Cindy, I know you're watching. I hate to say it this way, but even the dumbest of people know how to hit a like button. Cindy was in the back with him. Hashtag 9. It was on you just now. I was afraid of that, guys. Hey, hello, girl. She hit it on the thing here, and she can't.
I was
She can't
trying to, but
figure. She's trying to figure out how to get it back going. And then Sabina said if she canceled her friend request thing, said she had the baby in her arms. So
yeah.
y'all both bumping up. She'll get it fixed directly. Uh, yeah, I was afraid of that. You know, we couldn't never get nobody to say anything on him. Uh, couldn't get him to speak neither. Uh, I've had some people. Hey, Beck. I've had some people that are new that have asked me again. You know, kind of like explain the paranormal and how it starts and how it works. He wouldn't. He wouldn't go when we tried yesterday. Um, you want to talk to her about it? Okay. All right. Good deal. Uh, a lot of it. I guess we could use this little feller, this little 7-year-old, for an example as well. Best as you're gonna get. Um, hey, Beck. Beck says, "Hey."
Hey, Beck.
I know it, Sabina. It's terrible, 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 terrible. But the Lord said He'd get His number, even if He had to take the life of a child, and He's doing that very thing. Yeah, they found him today. Um, I believe it was, but I don't believe they'll ever rule it to that, and that's bad for uh for him. But good Lord won't let that bother him. Ain't got nothing to worry with now. Yeah, I was so hoping that if he was that severely, you know, that prayingly they could be some, mm, that they could be some cars or something, some noise somewhere, and would trigger children back toward the roadside where they could at least be seen. But I've seen 3 streetlights on that whole road, and that's not enough. Mm. It's terrible. That that's going to factor into what I talk about here in a minute. Yeah, they do. I thought we got one street light on this whole road right here of ours. I have no idea, love. I'm learning this as y'all tell me. I have no idea. I know if it would have been on his road, there would be no doubt in my mind that there would have been foul play. But if they were visiting friends, who knows? um, yeah, he lived in North Carolina. Um, I've had some people ask me how and what and why spirits do the things they do, and how can they do the things that they can. That's just like this little fella here, Liam King, 7-year old. So from birth to 7 years, he didn't know nothing but sound and maybe movement. When he took his last breath, he didn't have that problem anymore. Everything shifts. When when you step out this body we have here, that just goes back to dirt. I've heard from many different spirits from all around the world say the exact same thing. Good deal. Um, when he passed, he didn't have to worry with a voice. He didn't have to worry with any more fear, spankings, or anything he may have got. It's sad for us, but the good Lord got another angel. When when a person is deceased, you have all different kinds of morals to who you are and how you are. One thing that don't change, how you live in life is how you're going to be in death. Mentally, not just physically. When when you're alive, I say you was in a car crash or something, lost a leg or arm. When you pass, you don't have that problem anymore. You're not walking around in death with no arm or no, without a leg. It don't work like that. Your spirit is whole no matter what. If you're good in life, you're good in death. Yes, he can speak now. But this is a place to learn all about it, Holger. When walking through a cemetery, if there's and y'all that's been here, man, y'all know if there's a new one out there pretty fresh, I won't even go close to it, or at least I will not film it. I do that for respect reasons, but you also have to give them time to prepare. That's just like when you're born. You're born without knowledge. You're born into this old world, and you only learn from the people you're around until you start school. Then you learn from them. But what allows you to learn? What allows you to have movement in your body? How do you breathe? How do you think? How do you hear? How do you smell? How do you touch? It's called energy. A lot of people, and y'all know, y'all seen I've had to deal with it, losing a loved one or several loved ones. It's a hard thing. It is. It's really hard. But I guarantee you that the moment that happens, the moment you watch someone take their last breath, from that very second, I guarantee you they're pleading with you to don't worry. Everything will be all right. If you're negative in life and you know it, and you try to be mean as the devil, could have been, you're going to be treated how you were in life. And I'm gonna try to find up the video to to back my words up. I wish Raymond was here right now. I took Christina down to Langston Cemetery not long ago, and they were a lot of negative spirits there that did not like what we were doing. But we ignored it and we went on. But you can hear it all plain as day. They got to cussing us out and calling us names and, acting stupid. And within just a split second, you could feel uh, just a comfort feeling around you and through the spirit box. And you don't need earbuds to hear it either. You can hear every positive spirit around in that cemetery backing them people up and putting them where they belong. As a matter of fact, I believe I titled it Good versus Evil. They had took enough. They'd probably been bullied around, and they seen we wasn't going to worry with it, but they wasn't going to allow it to keep happening either. So how you are in life is how you're going to be in death. But all spirits run off muscle memory. Same way as a child. Think of it as a child. When it's born, it don't know nothing but to cry and want something to eat. That's about the only thing. And it don't even realize that it's wanting something to eat. It's just way of nature. Some people, when they pass, they don't understand what's happened at the time. It could be instant kill, car crash, something fall on you, and you don't realize what's happened. And it takes you a little while to accept what's happened here. Just like crossing over, you're not going anywhere, but you accept your fate. And not everybody gets that opportunity. They are things out there that's never been human in the first place. I've talked to you guys about it plenty of time before. I've gave you the name of the person. You just don't ever say it together. You spell it out separately. Don't ever say it together. It's never been human. It can jump you. It can cause a person a lot of problems. It goes deeper than just having, say, an angry spirit in the house throwing things around. It's totally different. It gives off an odor of sulfur, and it will not leave. It will not take, uh, or anything you take will not get it out of your taste buds. You cannot deal with it. Yeah, bless you, love. Turn 12. Bless you. So, when you have a loved one pass, people need to understand that where we're at right now, it does not matter. The clothes we wear, the things we think we need, none of that matters. You're not going to take it with you when you go. You know, pure, innocent, humble spirits. They, yes, happy birthday. You can kind of sense when someone's around. Everybody's got that sixth sense, and a lot of people don't call it that. They'll just say gut feeling. Well, I told this here a while back too. Right after my mother passed, I seen her, um, but I wanted to move about 30 years before that. Every weekend that was not raining, we were out hiking, caving, you name it. That's what we were doing. Sometimes we'd put a little softball team together and go up to the park and play. Mother started having vascular problems when she was in her 30s. By the time she was in her 40s, she got where she couldn't walk from here down to the mailbox and back without having to stop a couple times. There in the last 19 months, Mother couldn't walk, use her hands. We had to feed her and everything else. But the day after Mother died, she proved everything all over to me again. I watched her walk from the living room to her bedroom. And hear them words that I'm saying. I watched her walk to her bedroom. Yes. You carry your love with you when you go. No, she didn't stop and chit chat because she's still figuring out the ropes. But she let me see exactly what I needed to see. Sometimes you have to see even graphic things sometimes just to set your mind back to reality, what really is going on out there. But remind you not, my mother could not walk, period. Infection down to the bone. Still got the pictures to prove it. And like I said, she let me. It wasn't because I asked. She let me see her walk. Bless you, love. Mother was all about the paranormal too. She loved it. No matter where I went, what I did. She would want to watch my footage before I edited it. I've heard her say many a time, I wished I had a new pair of legs. Well, daggum it. She's had them all along. But this old body's just kept her from it. That little boy that ended up in that pond, he can do anything everybody else can do now. The main thing, yeah, the main thing is energy. I watched a spirit one time from a graveyard. It was kind of about like the graveyard up here, um, the family cemetery. Bless you. I seen a spirit leave the the tomb, go up and hit the power line, turn blue, run down to the street, come back, come right back down in front of the tomb, and stood there and had more than a 20-minute conversation. There's more paranormal on this earth now than they've ever been. What do you think lets you call from here to China, and by the time you blink, somebody can answer the phone? Have you ever tried to walk from here to China? It's gonna take more than a minute. But quick, that quick. That's all it is. They what they lack here in the physical, they have in death. That's it. And I described to you where he was sitting, what he looked like, what he was saying. Yeah, down there in the hotel, when I brought her ashes in, uh, she did. You could see her sitting there watching one to play that bubble game on her tablet. That's what they used to sit and do all the time.
I remember you telling me about that the other day. We were talking about
But people need to know it is heartbreaking. There's no way to get over it. It don't ever fade. You just kind of put it to the back of the mind. Mm. Uh, you know, I've heard them say plenty of time that the moment they died, they heard like a click. They could see their self leaving their body. And that past loved ones was all around, just standing there waiting. Not everybody gets the chance to die at home in a good warm bed. I've seen some horrible, horrible deaths. Many ways, even the ones that self-inflicted. I see someone how they were in life and in death. That's something I can't change. When I was young, it bothered me. I didn't ever want to see anybody like that. But once I grew up and learned how to split the difference, that kind of just left me. This here old world is just a is just a place to hang out for a little while. That's it. You know, death. You know, of course, never welcome, but it always comes. You know, the thing of it is, people need to understand the magnitude of death. You can't live if you can't die. Every single thing that breathes has a soul. Of course, we mourn, we weep, we do things that we get so bound up in that we can't help ourselves. We look at a picture or we do something that reminds us of what they did or something. You know, that's their way. That's not just you. That's their way of working with you to keep them alive. A lot of our own, yeah, a lot of our thoughts that we have, people also need to understand that 9 times out of 10, it ain't your own thought. A lot of, have you ever heard somebody say, well, I watched a horror movie and then went to bed and had a nightmare? Well, that's your own fault. But have you ever had them nightmares where it just seemed like it was so surreal? 9 times out of 10, them type dreams can be a warning or someone trying to get you to understand what they have went through. Every piece of land, every home has drifters. There's not one on this earth that don't have it or that has not ever had it. People are buried in things all over this earth in places you don't even think. Could be 10 feet down, could be 100. You never know. But they're still there. Spirits generally try to stay with the body until they're called out. You know, even with cremation, the spirit will still try to stay intact with that. You know, when we do the things that I do here for you guys, so if I wanted to call out, you know, to one of your uncles back and ask him a question, does he remember something? I wouldn't need to sit here and ask you if you remember it or not. That person would have had to give me that thought to think it. It's all about timing. We use the Paula the other day for an example. You know, and it was just like that. She didn't tell me nothing about all that. And I didn't have to ask her about it. Well, I did ask her about the dog. But I don't get to pick and choose. We had somebody on for a long time with us. I forget who it was now. But she kept saying, well, I don't ever get to hear from my loved one or this and that and another. Well, if that happens, it's your own fault. when some people are done with you, that means in death as well. I won't call out no name of the person. Y'all might have a pretty good idea who it was. They wouldn't stop, so I went ahead and I called out to the feller. Well, sometimes that's when you might want to reconsider and do a private session, because sometimes they can come back and bite you in the ass.
Oh yeah.
And most of you that's here now was on the night that it happened. When I called out to the fella. Not only did a fella speak, but a woman that he's with now also spoke and said that he said that she was the cause of his death. Could we have turned that into something and got a mess stirred up for her? Yes. If it had been a child, I would have. When when you when someone wants me to do a session, I tell everyone, and you can go back to every regular session or moral sessions that I've ever done on YouTube. And you can't find one that where I don't tell you, don't think that your first go around is going to be perfect. But 9 times out of 10, it ends up sometimes being the best one you get. I have got 9,800 sessions under my belt right now, and I have yet to fail. Yeah, you know it. You heard it. They all heard it. They remember back. Um, but I don't want to bring up no name. And then we had a woman on here one time think she could trick me. And I know you remember that one, Alice, as well. Plane crash, Chicago airport. Um, come find out, they had stole her mama's jewelry off her dead body in the coffin. Had her little sister to do it and go hide it. And then told me that she didn't know how her sister died. This is before I ever went to Illinois. I was sitting in my room doing the session, and I just like to have passed out because I felt everything that she felt before she passed. And her sister lay next to her and didn't offer no help. She had a breathing machine there. She could have helped, but claimed to me she didn't know how she died. When I got done with that session, I called her. And she's not to ever be back to my show again. Relying on the deceased is something I will not tolerate. You remember that? A lot of people, in certain ways try to trick me. Back when I first started with YouTube, Mama told me, my grandmother, I call her Mom, she told me that people would. And I had to prove myself, for, a couple of years, whatnot. I was fine with that. But I don't have to anymore. And one good thing that I want everybody to remember, if you don't remember nothing else I've ever said, and I know that sounded weird, but it's going to make sense in just a second. How we are all a real close net here of learning each other's, talking, and just, just, letting the energy flow between me, you,
And
just
me.
just amongst us. That's how come. Okay, that's how come it's easier for me to do sessions for you guys because we already got that rapport built.
That bond.
You know, um, and that's why I say, people that come here, subscribe, hit the like button, come on down in the chat, be part of this JSP family, and you will eventually hear from a low one.
Mhm.
Art, once we get to know you, hey, set yourself up for a session. Everything we do is for a reason. And again, doing sessions for people, it don't happen, if you it don't happen when I want it to happen. It's not like, you write or you have me write down this and that, and the likes and whatnot, and I just call out to them and that's it. It don't work like that. Some sessions takes I've had to do it 10, 15, 20 times before. But I like, and I always ask to make sure you write down something that only you and that person would know. And that way and I keep asking the question also until I get a direct answer back. That's like sweet little old Risa, not long after she subbed up with us. Uh, she wanted to hear from some people, so she did her uh yes, just exactly. Uh, they ain't going nowhere, and they're right here with us. She wanted to do a private session, and I see she had her little table going here and had her some stuff written down and everything, and she was just going through there writing it down. And every time she would look up at me, you could see more and more amazed as she was getting. And by the time it was over with, she's like, "Well, you know, about know my life history here." She's never told me all their names. Ages, yeah. So no, I don't have to prove myself anymore. But what people do need to have, and I say this, will say this to anyone, is to have faith. No matter what you do, have faith in it. That way you know the good Lord's part of it. If somebody jumped on right now and said, "Hey, you know, my brother just died a while ago," I'd be like, "Okay, well, give it, 3 or 4 weeks and hit me up and we'll talk to it." And what's so neat is, and that's why I was telling her just the other day, I want to start filming from the side here while I'm doing this, because what what I'm writing down on paper is what you are about to already say, but I already have it here. And when it matches up with every little bitty thing, with all T's dotted and my I's crossed, I know I got it. Then I know it's not going to be too hard to get. And sometimes I can do them in the first, second try. And I mean this in the kindest way in the world too. A lot of people that have things like missing teens and children and things on their shows, whatnot. Um, they try to get feedback from the police or other channels or somebody that lives close to that area or whatever. So they can put up stuff, and after the first couple times, then they just start coming up with junk to give views on it. People, and again, they saying it the humblest I can. People that cannot do this can't stand it, and I'm talking about YouTubers and things like it. It's not my fault I can't, and it's not their fault that they can't. There ain't no sense in any jealousy in it. But to come over here and grab my info and take it back to your platform,
That's
not going to work anymore.
That's not right. Sorry.
I know, Beck, and it's been happening quite a bit, and I'm shutting her down. I if you can't do it on your own, don't do it. Don't upload something that you can't back up.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, the last time I was in North Carolina or South Carolina or wherever the hell I was when Lisa Ann was in my vehicle. And however long that's been. Yeah. Told you quit drinking so fast, Fruit Loop.
I didn't even drink anything yet.
Yeah, you did. I heard you pop off of that thing. You're going to choke yourself to death.
I didn't. I went to try and I started coughing.
Several different YouTubers, Judy. And and the thing that we do here, we give them the benefit of the doubt. We really do. We sit here and we listen to what it has been over a year, huh?
To what these people have to say.
Yeah, we sit here and we listen, and until they start chasing tail, then we cut it off. But we give them the benefit of the doubt. And if I know that there's a lie in that, I call them out on it. Can't help it, won't change it if I could. But what it does is when we hear nonsense from here, we turn on the spirit box, we hear children say something totally different. Well, that shot them back out of the water. That's not my fault neither. People need to be true to themselves and to their loyal to their families by being honest, not by skipping around and telling things that you cannot back up. I don't remember, Annie. Yeah, it does. I call them out every day when we're on live. When we're on live like this, it's nationwide. It's raw footage. It's right here. I can't edit this. I mean, what we do right here is live for anybody around the world to see. And yeah, I call them out. I've told them the kindest and easiest ways I know how. She said that Annie said she sent a song to you and to me. She thought, yeah, this here's raw footage. This stuff right here, when you see me right here, this is not edited. Like right now, it is 7/19, September the 9th. Right here, right now. Some of you are 2 hours away, some of you different, some of you same time. There's nothing edited on my live shows. Nothing.
I don't even think you can do that.
I don't. Well, if you can, I don't know how.
I wouldn't even know how to do it.
But a lot of it really started, like when people wanted me to start doing Sebastian Rogers. There was a couple of people that, even tried when I was around doing Kylie Rodney. That's it. You said it, Paula. I can't say it no plainer. I mean, it ain't like you're watching this an hour later. You're seeing it in real time. I wish you'd do me a favor. Because I ain't got shoes on. I forgot to put my socks on. And I am freezing. Figure you can step right there at that door and grab me a pair of them socks. I'll put them on real quick. But don't my feet don't fall off. It'll be your fault. Well, I don't know. Some could, yeah, some could. No, I'm not gonna play no game. A lot of people try to play a good game, but I don't. I'm going to definitely call them out on it. For what? It's warm.
Oh, you got the heating pad on.
Oh, well, you're fixing to give it to me.
Huh?
Yep, I'm going to put it over here on my feet.
Whatever.
They ain't there.
I'm not even using it.
Well, get it. I will.
Goober dog. Yes, I was called you a goober dog.
Let me hear it first, Annie. Before it's played. For YouTube reasons. LLC license sometimes is kind of tricky. And they're on that thing, and but yeah, just send it to me. Let me listen to it. If it's all good, then yeah, then we'll play it. Matter of fact, my aunt sung a song on my brother's video. I've got a memorial video of my brother, and she sings in it, and they wanted me to take it down, and I did, and so I called my manager and I asked him. I said, "How come?" And he said that it was so pretty that he figured that it was from somebody that was already licensed to do that. And when I said no, I said, that's my aunt. I said, and that dead guy on there is my brother. They never did bother me with it again. But that's just how picky and choosy they can be. They It's all a YouTube thing. And that's like even some things we talk about here, they have to put viewer discretion advised, you know. Um, so just let me listen to it. Well, they're aggravating. Um, so good Lord gave him a new angel today, and the only other thing that I know to say to people, and you was asking like who does this, who takes yeah who takes some of my content and words it out on their platforms. Well, there's about 7 or 8 different YouTubers that do it. Hey, Connie. It's not right. It's not fair. And they're not getting consent. I'm the type of person that near about give my shirt off my back to anybody if they asked. You cross me one time, that's it. I'm done with it. I don't give seconds. I know that may sound bad, but I don't. I do. I do. And that's why right now it's slacked off for the last uh, about 8 days now. It's been slacked off. But I had to get a list um, of who all it was and put it on there. And they notified them, and if they do it anymore, then they'll go to council and they can be ripped of their YouTube terms for or contract for 90 days. Yes, I will. As long as you give me permission, I'll do it. I'm telling you now, his baby got more hair than I do. That is Sabina's grandbaby. That's just adorable, ain't it? That's just sweet. But yeah, for the last about 8 days now, that they ain't nobody been doing it. Um, when when YouTube contacts you, it means business. So they've cut that out. Thank goodness. I don't even know what for us to do. Let me see if there's anything left out. I believe I've about described it the best that it can be described. And it, yeah, probably a lot of heartburn. Oh, I believe everybody's born with something. Yeah, and even a sixth sense or gut feeling, everybody can have that. It, yes, beautiful. Dolls. Well, that'd be right up Wanda's alley.
What would?
Dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rose has helped a lot of people. Summer has too.
No, you could. Yeah, don't move.
I've got to.
Why?
Because I can't get down here to my sock. I'm under this desk. This ain't no big desk, you know. What is these things anyway?
My socks.
Well, take it off and put it on the right way.
Necessarily can't.
Don't. You don't do a job, do it right.
I want to hit you. That's what I'm gonna do.
Don't half-ass it. Come on, let's get it. I can't get it under there. That's crazy.
You think?
I need a bigger computer desk.
Well, you're the one that got this desk.
Yeah, I know it.
Get your foot
That's
in
good.
it.
It's good. It's done in it. What was you doing? Trying to put my leg in it too?
Ow, my foot. My drink. Oh, you're hitting everything.
Yeah, she's full of energy, but she knows how to do it though. Now these times they some that's in that's pretty dead set on wanting to be heard. But she'll still push through most of the time anyway.
Jesus, baby.
Well, it ain't my fault. All this closed up.
It is your fault.
One cabinet, one drawer.
Well, you
and
got
about
this thing, not me.
About 25 inches right here to get under.
You're the one that got it.
And this chair goes up and under it, so I can't do nothing with it.
I just said you're the one that got it. What?
She said I can't show her dolls on any channel. Some people say it creeps them out.
Yeah, certain dolls creep me out.
Well, I tell you what.
What?
I guess last thing I need to really say on the paranormal behalf is this here is 12 by 16 room here.
But trust me, it looks
12
smaller.
by 16. But we got 2 couches in here.
Well, someone did that one.
Shelf,
Babe.
computer desk.
That's Babe's doing.
More drawers.
Babe's doing.
And musical equipment around.
That is definitely your doing.
I do a little picking myself from time to time. I don't I don't know, Joni. I know Sharman comes on sometimes to still watch. Um, I, Sharman knows that. Well, she really she enjoyed what I did with paranormal. Don't get me wrong, but when Mother died, even the very next day, when I seen her, when I got her ashes back, you know, she really realized then just how important it is to be able to hear from a loved one. I know some things happened, but I also let her hear from her husband as well. And she knows I know each time when she's on. She knows that. I think she may tell maybe some stuff that she hears. Thank you for doing that. Um, I know there were a few channels she liked to watch. Um, every once in a while, she would comment something on theirs or stuff. But I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't have to think about it if she did something like that. I figure I would catch it in the beginning. Um, hey Donna, how you doing, love? You know, I'm gonna say something. She does. She does. She don't use hers. Um, but I'm gonna say something. I can't help who likes it, who don't like it. I want to set the record straight right now. When me and Charmin was seeing one another, she took a liking to Mother and Wanda. When I needed help the most, she invited us to her home. I couldn't ask for Mother to be treated no better than she treated her. She was awesome with Mother. You know, everything happens for a reason. And, you know, and I'm just going to say this as plain as it gets, guys, because I'm just not one of them that beats around the bush. But I know there's some new people on and stuff and whatnot. And I know now she's listening. I thought it was a good thing. But sometimes life will throw you a curveball when you're least expecting it. She helped me in ways that I could never debt back. And I knew Mother and Wanda really loved her. When when we come back to Alabama, I left Illinois in Illinois. Sometimes you just get so bound up, that no matter what you do or have done, it's just not enough, or you just start feeling the shift in things that just ain't right. And again, I won't say this, and I know she's listening, and how it may make her feel, or whoever. I don't rightly care. When I said everything happens for a reason in life, it's been proved to me 1,000 times over. I left Illinois in Illinois. And what I mean by that was, no matter how hard I've tried, I cannot change the fact that that is where my mom took her very last breath. No matter what I do, I can't change that. So, in y'all probably been in these types of situations, relationships, or whatnot. You know, or if you're sitting there on your phone, or somebody, your boyfriend or what, they're right over your shoulder trying to see what you're doing. Just you know, don't just don't give you no room. You know what I'm saying? And then there's people that take things way too far out of proportion, over exaggerate things. And I know that happens to a lot of people all the time. And that was the kind of stuff that was going on. You know, I could I could tell when that shift in that home started taking effect. And y'all know as well as I do, the good Lord don't make mistakes. And he don't do nothing halfway. There's a purpose for everything. And I believe that that was that purpose to be there. My mother. She asked me of two things. Don't let me pass in no hospital or in no old nursing home. We had people all around the world praying for mother. And I mean all around the globe. Good Lord blessed her with that. Laid right there in the house, in her little hospital bed, peacefully. Sometimes you got to go through the rough to get to the good. Sometimes things get worse before they get better. Y'all seen me at my lowest, and you've seen me at my highest. The ones that's been with me a while. I'm not one of these that's going to put everything off on just one person, because there's two sides to everything. Things I did, sometimes some things I would say would come out totally different than the way I mean it. And I've been told that about all my life. That's why sometimes I tell you know, I'm just country fried. If it sounds bad, it don't mean that I mean it bad. That's just the way I speak. But that night when mother passed, not only did he bless her, but he blessed me as well. When we come back to Alabama, I've told y'all about the word that I gave to my mother and to my grandmother, that I would take care of Wanda until one of us took our last breath. we were running from a hotel to my sister's back and forth just to make it day to day, and it was just costing us too much. And remind you not, I do not just talk to the Lord when I'm in need of something. I talk to the Lord 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So all my worry, all my trials during that time, that was the good Lord testing my faith. And I proved again that that's the only one I do have faith in. There's a woman on here that tried her best to get in contact with me. Of course, I didn't know the plan. I did not know the plan. I didn't know where we'd be laying our head the next day. Didn't know. I went 8 or 9 days without a bite of food so I could make sure that Wanda was fed and taken care of. Because we had to pinch pennies. Try that sometime and see how that works out for you. So I was hitting rock bottom. And the woman on here finally got in touch with me. And we made friends. And it got to where each night, or day, morning, whatever she felt, she'd call me up, you know, and just want to know how I am, you know. And I'd tell her, I don't know today. I don't know what we're going to do. So we was back at the hotel. I sat in talking to the good Lord about some things. Something, well, I can't just say something. It's a good Lord. I just felt a sense of comfort come over me. I was laying on my sister's love seat. Wanda was over there on the couch. Wanda couldn't hunker up on that old love seat. And I turned around there and told Wanda, I said, everything will be all right tomorrow. And Wanda's, well, my family, they don't question me when I say something because they know I mean what I say. I don't say things that I don't mean. Well, me and Wanda got out again and was trying to find a place to get where we could be stable. All that day, I was still talking to the good Lord, and the day started ending. And I said, I know this ain't it. I said, I felt you. I come over on this road that I live on now, where I used to walk when I was a child. And I remembered a lady that uh, one of my aunts used to rent from lived on this road. And I went up there and I asked her, I said, you got anything for rent? She said, well, she said, I kind of got somebody on the way up here to get it. And I said, well, what'd you have? She said, well, that spot down there. I said, you're on the phone with him. I said, I'm standing here. She said, you got it to get it? I said, give me about an hour or two and I'll be back. She hung up on that fella. And I come back in a couple hours and took care of it. So I thought I was losing. A lot of people thought I would give up. My faith in the Lord will never stop. There will nobody on the face of this earth ever change the way I have faith in my Father. No way. So he even put me more close to this lady. And to me, she's just like my own grandmother. I'd lay my life down for her in a minute. Wouldn't question it. Then I realized that the good Lord had blessed me again. Because I was having a rough time with Wanda. Her falling and carrying on and stuff. And I didn't know nothing about toxins and stuff that build up in you. I thought you were having symptoms of strokes. And then one night, I talked to baby girl here. And let me tell y'all something. I'm not a phone person too much. And we ended up talking nearly 7 hours. Okay, my hands were numb. I couldn't feel my earlobe. And I'm telling you the truth. The following third rolled around. And I went and met him for the first time. And me and her just hit it off. There's no way on earth that I could ever thank the good Lord enough for what He's given me. If I died right now, and I'm telling you the truth, listen to me. If I died right this very second, I would know I was dying with the love of the Father in my soul. And I would be at peace. When she came down, it started as for her to come and help Wanda. You know, and that's exactly what she did.
Fell in love with her.
Huh?
Fell in love with her. She reminded me of my great Grammy.
I couldn't ask for nobody to help no better than her. We couldn't help Wanda from falling. From the way my bedroom is set, Christina was on the couch. So we had Wanda right there, Christina right there, me right here. That way we had four eyes on Wanda all the time. But Wanda, she'd mess around and drink on her water all through the night and get up and need to go pee. Well, again, I thought she was having stroke like symptoms. When she fell that last time, you know, she hit the uh, nightstand and hit her back on that closet wall there, door frame. And she cracked two spots in her back and broke her arm up here, crushed it up into her um, socket because I guess that's the arm she's trying to catch with. Well, like I said, I didn't know nothing about toxins can do that. So I had a feeling to take her to a different doctor, and I did. Yeah, she is. And, you know, he was like a sports doctor. And I told him, I said, her doctor wouldn't even do an x ray or nothing. And I said, I know it's not showing signs right now. I said, but if you're good enough as you claim, I said, you won't stop taking x rays or anything until you find it. About an hour later, he come back in there and said, take her straight to the hospital. Said she's broke her back in two places and her arms broke. Her socket is shoved up in her shoulder bone is shoved up into her socket and spread out. And so we did. We took her over there. They fixed it. And that's where I found out about the toxins. Doctor said that that's what it was. It wasn't uh, strokes, but he said it does give ripple effects like strokes. And I said she would try to set a glass down on the table sideways, you know.
She really would.
And you know, that was all new to me too. All I know is what we had to deal with mother, you know. But through it all, through every bit of it, Christina's made me to be the type person I want to be. She's everything anybody on the face of this earth could ever ask for. I'm the lucky one. And I know that because I know the Lord loved me because He created her. And we would have not met if it had not been the Lord's will. So the only thing I can say, and the last thing I'll ever say about Charmin, is I thank you for what you did for my mama. I appreciate it. But now I've got more family. I've got you.
Yeah.
I've got her, and I've got y'all.
Always gonna have you.
Till I croak.
And I'll still be here.
And that's just pretty much the last few years of my life here up to current. And I'm like Forrest Gump. That's about all I got to say about that. People that come here and be part of JSV or just meet me out on the street. There's not one person in my family or anybody that knows me that would say any different. I don't say things that I don't mean. Depends on which one you want, because one of them probably be with me in the casket.
What?
Johnny said if Johnny said if I croak, can I have one of your guns?
Hold up.
Yeah. Look here, you can have this right here. And look, hey, it even comes with a surprise. The little knife. You can have that. Yep, Ruger. Just try not to shoot your toe off with it. I pray now that everybody understands me a little better now. I don't have no hate for up there. I don't, because I don't want that on my conscience. I dislike a lot of things.
We all do though.
But when you have to grow up like I did, you learn the hard way. And sometimes that's the best way. Even though it don't seem it. But no, I don't hate. I don't hate. I don't want to ever have hate in my heart again. Period. I can dislike somebody's attitude or personality or ways, but I'm not gonna have no hate in my heart. That's just like Joseph. People just don't know how much I would just love to just punch him one time right in the mouth. I know it sounds weird, but it's just like if I could just do it one time, I could get past that mess. But there's a difference between fooling me and then stealing from my mama. I forgive him, and I ask the Lord all the time to help keep me to forgive him, but I ain't gonna forget it. And I just, yes, he stole Maul's ring that was mother's, her Elvis rings, her mom's ring. I got it for Mother's Day. Stole out of Christina's pocketbook.
Stole my pocketbook.
Yeah, dumped half of it out in the yard. Stole guns, cameras, all kind of stuff.
Yeah, let's just say a lot of stuff.
And all I want is just one moment to just punch him right in the mouth. And I tell you, honest to God, and I mean it, honest to God, if I could get that one punch on him, I said, okay, I'm over it. You go do your thing. don't ever cross paths with me again, we're fine. Yeah, because it's too much of a burden to carry. And you can't carry that to heaven with you. You just cannot carry hate. You know, it even speaks of it in the Bible. Don't go to bed or let the sun go down with hurt feelings. Wonder how many times we've all done that before. Oh. I tried to be as a decent as feller as I can possibly be. Um, but I guess now everybody knows me a little better. You know, the bad thing of it was the day that I went up there and met them is the day that he did that to me. And y'all seen how I had Mother's urn placed on her table and her rings and whatnot right there in front of her. And then, not only that, I built that little white fence thing to go around Mother's little old spot. And he tore it all to pieces and threw it on my grandmother's grave. Thank you, love. We try. Ow. I know it's they gum old world ain't gonna last much longer. You know, I mean, I ain't that stupid yet. So, I mean, I want to enjoy it while we can. You know, I'm so tired of having to be so serious all the time. You know, and stuff. You know, so like I said, well, like I've said before, some of my best YouTube moments is when we come on here and just all cut up and carry on. And as far as the ceiling goes, he's been that way, had sticky fingers ever since he was young. But since he's gotten that old dope junk all these years, that ain't done nothing but throw fuel on the fire. But I told him, and my sister told him, he steps back on my property, and it would be a fatal mistake. You know, let me know if real quick.
Sure.
Please. I don't know if my coffee pot's still on nothing today.
Most likely not.
Make me a pot. It'll warm me up since you ain't giving me nothing to cover my feet up with.
I gave you
If
my
I come
socks.
up with pneumonia, it's her fault.
I gave you my socks, my fuzzy socks at that.
You
Do you not like my fuzzy socks?
You must have dipped them in ice water before you put them over
my
here.
Fuzzy socks.
No.
You're the one that got them for me.
Who did I get them for, though?
Me.
Who's supposed to be wearing them?
Me.
All right. Case closed.
But it doesn't mean you can't.
No, they're actually blue and white.
They're teal and white. Thank you. He just don't know his colors. Because he's a goofball.
Well,
but he's my goofball.
That's fair enough, ain't it? Nut job.
But I'm your nut job.
Love you too, honey. Love every one of you. When I say it, I mean it, guys. Every one of you. I think I mentioned this in the beginning. Alice, she gets her scheduled tomorrow. So whatever day she's gonna be off is the day that we'll come out there. So, and get that. Do me a favor though, and make sure that y'all have that ball and hitch ready. And if you can get them to make sure that there ain't too much stuff left in that thing, we'll come up there with some zip ties and stuff and close the cabinets and all that good stuff. And we'll clean it up real good when we get it back here. I'm probably going to take it out there and put it on the hunting spot. And that way I'll have something warm to get in during the season. So, and there's some hunters around too. I might be able to get it rented out too that way. Hey, Jenny.
Who?
Jenny Pooh. I love you too, honey. Oh, that reminds me. I was going to say, I need you to get, what's his name? What's your old man's name? Richard. Get one of them, or Richard or whoever, and go out there and tell me what size tires.
Oh yeah,
that's on that.
To make sure.
Cause they're gonna be 14, 15, or 16, and I need to know so I can bring an extra. I think Scotty thinks he's got a couple over there, so I need to know what size they are. Let's turn this thing on and see if we can hear somebody else talk besides me for a little while. I mean, there's a couple things popped up here. What is this one? Testimony that stopped the courtroom cold. From Detective Max. Let's see what kind of good nip.
Gathered interviews, reviewed surveillance, and searched every possible lead. But buried in the documents and echoed in testimony is a phrase that has caught the public's attention. He's really scared. These weren't words from an online rumor. They came directly from someone connected to the case. A statement that, while brief, revealed a deeper layer of tension surrounding this investigation. What was he scared of? Why did those words matter so much? And how do they fit into the mystery of two children who have yet to be found? Tonight, we break down the timeline, the investigation, and the unanswered questions in the disappearance of Lily and Jack.
We already know that this is going to be bullcrap with her saying that statement there. So let's see what all we can call her out on here. Or
Sullivan. But before we dive into this, kindly
something.
Subscribe to our channel if you believe in fighting for justice. Because every view, every comment, every subscriber is a stand against silence and a step.
Sometimes Summer don't. She's Summer is one of them that would, she'd know how to get her way. I can guarantee you that. And for some reason, I mean, I don't know why, but sometimes if somebody comes on here and says something, or I have to get a little cranky with something, she'll throw out that little giggle.
I love that giggle.
And the first days that I went out there to uh, Kingsport, Tennessee, there was a newscast woman out there. Uh, Me and Wanda and Joseph was walking up uh, to the uh, that sitting area up there. Woman come down there and tried to tell me I couldn't be filming. Well, I hurt her little feelings, and when I mean hurt her feelings, I hurt her feelings. I didn't know it at the time till I played it back, but I heard Summer laugh, and she said the very words that Beck just put on there, and that just tickled me good. There you go. So anyway, I went out there and did my business, and Summer enjoyed it as well. So yeah, sometimes you can. Inside and out, Pamela. Yes.
Toward justice. We've just crossed 5,000 subscribers, all because of your support
Who cares what
to
you
the
are?
situation. Close to the situation revealed three simple words: he's really scared. It's a phrase that echoes with emotion, suggesting fear, uncertainty, and the weight of something left unsaid. But what do those words really mean? And why have they sparked renewed interest in a case that already feels so heavy with mystery? Tonight, we revisit the timeline, the investigation, and the voices that continue to push for answers in the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan. Lily Sullivan was just 6 years old, standing together as a community determined not to let no longer considered the disappearance of Lily and Jack to be criminal in nature. To many, this announcement was confusing. Continued to follow every development, unwilling to let the story of Lily and Jack Sullivan fade into the background. As the investigation continued, public discussion only grew louder. Online forums, social media, and debated, but the emotion they reveal is undeniable. They suggest tension, uncertainty, and the kind of fear that has quietly surrounded this case from the very.
I know I'm splitting hairs here for a second, but let me show you the difference between dumb and dumber real quick. Um, I don't. I don't like having to call people out. I really don't. Well, that's half truth. Sometimes I don't mind it, but whoever this is here, detective, true crime, or whatever, listen to this woman talk. They don't lock your ass up for murder if they don't have the body or a true confession. And there's still some of them trying to say that there was no foul play. When you hear that, you know right there that that's some bullcrap from somebody that wants views and something that was easy edited. That won't work for me. So dumb would be thinking about uploading something like that. Dumber
I'm sorry. I can't
is
help
by
it.
putting a AI woman's voice on your channel, exploiting you to be the dumber end of the ladder. It don't make sense. Everybody's just gonna laugh at them. And eventually, it'll be like that story, Cry Wolf. Won't nobody want to believe them. No. Like I said, and good example right now. This is what I do. Call them out. That they ain't doing nothing but trying to get views off these babies.
For all this time was not hidden in distant forests or locked away in sealed case files, but sitting quietly beneath the RV of Daniel Martel's own mother. Today, a shocking allegation has emerged, one that has sent ripples through a community already paralyzed by grief and uncertainty. A neighbor reportedly tipped off investigators, pointing them toward the property of James.
Now, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. We know that she didn't want the trailer or her camper searched again, period. The only footage that was actually somewhat kind of visible was someone, and I'm not even going to say someone, I know who it was Daniel. He walked out the front door and walked around to the back. And on that clip, you can see a roll of plastic in his arms. That's why I believe that when this took place, the first place they went was in the closet. Then, probably in the shed. When they made the decision to split them up, we kept hearing from Lily about the shed. Thank you, love. I'll dance at your wedding.
Mackenzie, Daniel Martel's mother. And according to these unverified claims, forensic teams uncovered bones beneath her RV, bones said to be consistent with the ages of Jack and Lily Sullivan.
So, did animals really have anything to do with the, I don't even like to say it, you might want to toss up content here. Y'all over there, you giving that couch hell, ain't you?
You know what? You can bat me.
Dismembered.
Give me my blanket.
You know, we know that they were some left in that sleeping bag, but you know, with Lily, we didn't know. We know what they said, and again, I'm going to take. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Sabina. I'm going to take these babies' words over anybody or anything. So, you know, not only was that new tarp used for the shed, but it also covered a portion of the front end of her camper. And if y'all remember back, I kept mentioning that there were no cutout spaces for the door to go into the side the fence to go into where her camper was, and there was nothing cut out on the tarp to go either direction. It was just a new tarp up there. Um, but what they're going to say here is going to be splitting hairs as well. They're wanting to tell half truths, and of course, I mean, sometimes you can't even expect that much out of somebody, but yeah. Um, so dismemberment take place on some rolled up plastic out back. And is that not what RCMP said that would be on Logan's fate far as terms of punishment? Is how it come back. None of us here are dumb by no means. You know, these babies or any other children we do, they will tell their own story. And they have. But I didn't get into the gory for asking these children that. 4-year-old and 6-year-old, I'm not going to sit and say, hey, did, dismember, I'm not doing that crap. Yes. But the guy that would not let Lily speak got dealt with as well. So we don't have that problem anymore. Thank goodness. And they can't be charges filed on speculation. I don't care what earth you live on. They cannot hold you with speculation. They have to have proof in the pudding. So when Rose finally spoke up and said, yeah, then we heard Lily say, he's here. We know then that they're talking about Jack. That let us know that RCMP has already done this and have run forensics. And I believe the little hiccup in the road here was because to see if anybody that was dealing with Daniel had anything or any part of any of them other children up along that pipeline trail. And I still got a feeling there's quite a few more up in there. Well, I don't know about on top, but they come right out and told us the closet, and then they come out and start talking about the shed, and nobody mentioned the shed except for Jack and Lily, and that was it. And I think one time I heard Summer say it. So I don't know. RCMP said with what some remains was left in the sleeping bag. Then I heard Lily talk about not having nothing on, and she plainly stated that in the beginning. That's probably the way you would find us. She was a lot smarter than they gave her credit for. What are you doing now? Oh, you on that TikTok.
Sullivan. At this stage, nothing is confirmed. We do not yet know whether the remains are human or whether they are in any way connected to the disappearance of Jack and Lily, but the mere possibility has shaken the public to its core.
Do you know how stupid you just sounded when you said you didn't know if that belonged to an animal or a human? In the very first statement she said, and I don't even have to back it up, y'all know what she said. She plainly said that it works out in a match for Jack and Lily Sullivan. And then somewhere along the line, they got another clip and edited on and saying that they didn't know if it was human remains or animal remains. There's no way to not know the difference. It would be different, possibly, if we were dealing with a grown person that was dismembered below the knee or a head, arm, or just found the torso. I mean, by the time animals get a hold of it stuff, it might be a little hard to tell the difference. But for Jack and Lily, would not be hard to distinct from. Yeah, exactly.
Imagine being a parent, clinging to hope, only to hear whispers that the answers might have been buried literally under the home of someone tied by blood to the man already under the microscope. Imagine the weight of that allegation pressing down on a father like Cody Sullivan, who has begged, pleaded, and prayed for even the smallest trace of his children. This development, true or not, is more than just another headline. It is a mirror reflecting the failures, betrayals, and unrelenting grief that define this case. And as we examine this alleged discovery, we must ask, if the system had acted sooner, if the signs had been heeded, would Jack and Lily still be here today? Stay with me, because this is not just a story of missing children.
That was a kind of ignorant thing to say, too. Drugs are never going to end while this earth is standing. Money's not going to stop flowing. Corruption is not going to stop. That was kind of a bad choice of words for her. I mean, it either is or it ain't. But it wouldn't make no difference at this point, no way, because the deed is already done. Again, you cannot sit in the jailhouse or prison under just suspicion. Now, they might can hold you for 24, 48 hours, but that's it. They have to have proof. And that's why they're all locked up. Because they already know everything. I just don't know why they're trying to split up the court things for people and not put it out to the public. It's like they're doing one at a time kind of deal, but not giving no press or anybody any information. That part I don't like. But that may be the way Canada does things. I don't know. Down here, there'd be a news crew there at the courthouse and have one woman or one man inside filming. Period.
It is a story of silence, of suspicion, and of a truth that refuses to stay buried. Before we can understand the weight of this new allegation,
Poor choice of word there too. Buried.
we need to return to the very beginning. We need to remember who Jack.
No, you do not. We've heard about that nut job from day one. No good for nothing, low down drug dealer that hated children and ended up costing them their life. Who in the world cares anything about any of that bunch? I don't.
Lily Sullivan are, not just as names in an investigation, but as children. Jack was 7 years old, Lily only 5, two siblings full of the energy, curiosity, and stubbornness that define early childhood. Neighbors recall seeing them ride their bikes in the driveway, Jack always racing ahead, Lily trying to keep up with her big brother. Teachers describe Jack as thoughtful, sometimes shy, but deeply protective.
Did you hear that? Do you see what I'm talking about? They're getting this edited clips from somewhere else, riding on their bicycles, and she's trying to keep up with her big brother. It's not what they say, it's how they say it. Yeah. You can tell he's getting, whoever this nut job detective true crime thing is, about as dumb as that bunch is up there. I mean, he's not doing very good at his editing. Period. Yeah. I mean, poor choice of words here. And I bet this won't be the only time that there's something slips up right here either.
Of Lily. And Lily, bright, playful, full of questions, often the one tugging at a teacher's hand for reassurance. They lived a life that, from the outside, seemed to teeter between the ordinary and the unstable. Their mother, Malaya Sullivan.
Really? But they got bruises all over their bodies that they won't let them come back to school until they're healed. But from the outside, it looks okay. They said that they didn't see the kids outside for nearly 2 weeks since last, when they last seen them before all this happened.
Was raising them along with her youngest daughter, Meadow. At the time of their disappearance, Malaya was living with her partner, Daniel Martell. And while Daniel was not the biological father of Jack and Lily, he had been a consistent presence in their lives for several years. But the children also had a biological father, Cody Lee Sullivan. Cody has spoken publicly about the pain of being separated from his children and his frustrations with the systems that were supposed to protect them. His voice has become one of grief, but also of anger at how authorities, schools, and child protection services seem to miss opportunity after opportunity to intervene. The last confirmed moments of Jack and Lily's lives remain uncertain, tangled in conflicting accounts. What is known is that Malaya left with Meadow, the youngest, while Jack and Lily were never seen again. Since then, the case has been defined by silence, no confirmed sightings, no forensic breakthroughs, and no closure for the family. That silence has created a vacuum, one filled with rumors, speculation, and theories. Every interview, every police update, every gesture from Daniel or Malaya has been dissected under the harsh light of public suspicion. And now the alleged discovery beneath Janie McKenzie's RV threatens to change everything. Because if the bones do belong to children of Jack and Lily's age, the story we've been telling shifts from a search and rescue into a possible confirmation of the darkest fears. But before we jump ahead, we need to look carefully at how this allegation even came to light and why it has shaken the community so profoundly.
Would it not be, well, like I said, RCMP this time, they can't afford to fail this time. They just can't. Would it not be better to look at the littler sized bones and take it to the coroner's office where what was left in the sleeping bag that Jack was in and see if it matches up right there, than to sit around and speculate, talk about for weeks? You know, they're just stalling time. But I don't know why RCMP is letting, well, not RCMP, but I don't know why the state, city, county, whatever up there is keeping everything hush hush in court. Because if they're having hearings and they've already been with the final charges, then this here is some old crap. Has to be. But I still say, if you found some bone under her camper, would it just not be easier to take it to the coroner's office and lay them out and match it up with Jack? You know, and then Lily, I mean, come on. People can't be this stupid. Surely to God. I used to want to go to Canada. But if I was to go up there and come back, I might forget how to tie my own shoes. I'd hate something rub off on me up there. This is terrible.
The allegation began not with an official statement, but with a whisper. A neighbor, someone who had been watching from across the street, living within earshot of laughter, arguments, and the quiet hum of life at Janie McKenzie's property, reportedly came forward. According to circulating claims, this neighbor told investigators about strange activity around the RV parked beside Janie's home. It is said the tip was specific enough, troubling enough, that law enforcement could not ignore it. Forensic
Jack said tent, Lily said tent, Summer said tent, and Rose said tent. All four. And I don't even have to go back through my paperwork for that. I remember that.
teams were allegedly dispatched, their white suits and specialized equipment drawing immediate attention. Soon, the quiet street was crowded with flashing lights, neighbors peeking from behind curtains, and questions spreading faster than answers. Reports claim that beneath the RV, hidden away under a structure belonging to Daniel Martel's mother, bones were uncovered. Bones that, according
under a structure, under the camp. And I'm sorry I'm stopping it like this, but I want you guys to understand. She already said 5 times under the camper. Then she just said under the camper, under a structure were bones found. So what they try to do? Make out a concrete pad and put them under that? Yeah. A structure is something handmade. They may think some people don't pay attention, but I do. I doubt very seriously if that camper's even got 4 tie downs on it. ignorant as they are. And even a camper this day and time has to have 8, regardless, and 4 pillows, period. So, what's the structure under the camper? Did they have a crawl space? Did they have a dugout basement under that camper? What's going on here? See what I'm saying? Speculation. Just no wonder people up there are so screwed up. They don't know what to believe. But these kind of people right here that edit this stuff, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. You give them 2 inches of rope, they'll find enough to hang themselves with it. Very. Yeah. So, what was all the strange movement around the camper? Could they not see if they might be some ready mix sacks in the garbage cans or out in the yard somewhere or in the shed? I mean, ready mix would be pretty good as long as you laid down you some even one buys to build your structure from, kind of get it level to make it look like something. But a structure is something you build under. Yeah. Yeah. Well, she'd probably, by this time, she should have a Olympic-sized pool.
According to speculation, might belong to children close in age to Jack and Lily. Here is where caution is crucial.
Might belong to children that's close to the age of Jack and Lily, under the grandmother's trailer. What's the chances of that? I'll tell you the only chance of that would even make remotely sense is if indeed Daniel was dealing drugs to whoever was murdering a lot of them teens and children up there. And placed some there, which I highly doubt that. And there's something else troubling me here. Good night. Love you too, honey. Be careful. There's something else right here that's piquing my interest. At first, she said remains bones that matched the ages of Jack and Lily. Okay. Then she says it could be them, or reckon they could be animals. Now, last time I checked, even out here in the horse pasture, I'm pretty sure neither one of them had a human head attached to them. So that brings us up to another thing. If there were no heads attached to these bones remains under that camper, then yes, it would be that very sickening word, for definite. Right there in front of all of them's eyes. And I believe the burden just got too heavy for old Logan and Dernuts, and everything has went south for them. If they are not any heads attached to them bodies, then the rest of everything was left out for nature.
Crucial. At this stage, no agency has confirmed these remains as human. No DNA analysis has been completed, at least not publicly. And yet, the rumor alone has been enough to ignite fear and outrage because for so long, this case has been a storm of silence. To suddenly hear whispers of bones unearthed so close to home feels like
Bones. But she's still not saying a skull. "4 years old would be tiny little bones. You could tell if the head was severed by an instrument or by an animal." Okay. This is just ignorant here.
Both a breakthrough and a nightmare. Neighbors describe the atmosphere as heavy, suffocating. One moment, the property looked ordinary, an RV parked in its usual place. The next, it was cordoned off, crawling with investigators, transformed into a scene of horror. For the community, the shock is twofold. First, the possibility that Jack and Lily's remains could have been lying beneath their noses all along. And second, the devastating proximity of this location to Daniel's own family, a connection that raises more questions than it answers. Did someone close to the children know more than they were saying? Were the children hidden away in a desperate attempt to silence the truth? Or is this entire allegation a tragic misfire, a case of rumor fueling panic before the facts can catch up? For now, all anyone can do is wait.
Well, you should be the only one to answer that. You're standing there apparently seeing the remains. I mean, I'm not hearing them put a doctor on here and saying nothing. And I'm still yet not hearing nothing about a skull. Hand bones do not look like animal bones. Feet bones do not look like animal bones.
For clarity, but the weight of this claim hangs heavily, and with each passing day, the community finds itself caught between hope and dread. Hope that maybe this is the breakthrough investigators need, dread that the breakthrough comes at the highest possible cost. To understand the weight of this allegation, we need to pause and ask, who is Janie McKenzie? Janie is not just another name in the periphery of this case. She is the mother of Daniel Martell, the man whose presence has been scrutinized since the earliest days of Jack.
She is lower than lower. We don't even need to talk about her.
And Lily's disappearance. For years, Daniel has lived under suspicion, not charged, not convicted, but analyzed, dissected, and questioned by a public desperate for answers. And now, to hear Janie's property mentioned in connection to a potential discovery draws the circle of suspicion even closer. Janie herself has not been a central figure in the media. She has not given lengthy interviews or public appeals.
Yes,
but her
she
role
did.
as Daniel's mother inevitably binds her to the narrative.
Yes, she did. Hey, Carol. How you doing, love? Carol says, hey.
Hey.
Yes, she did. Because she was throwing a fit because everybody was accusing Daniel. She did like an hour and 20 minutes or something, another interview. We watched it. She took her into camper and around and all this and stuff. Yes, she did. You know what? I hate to say this. I really do. It it can most definitely be some of Jack and Lily's remains. Yes. I'm not saying no on that at all. But is there a possibility that whoever may have been friends with Jack and Lily, could they have known too much? Could something happen to another set of kids? Which I pray not. I pray not. But I would think if they did, they were be up along that pipeline ridge. Yeah. We need to hear something about a head attached to these remains. Because if they don't mention it, again, that's just another backup resource to reassure us that RCMP has done their job, that it's sent to the coroner's office to be dissected to see how it was dismembered. So there we go.
Every parent shields their child to some degree, and when the case of Jack and Lily began pointing fingers at Daniel, some quietly wondered, what did his family know? What did they see? The idea that bones could be found under her RV strikes at a deep and unsettling nerve, because if true, it suggests that this tragedy did not unfold far from home or in the shadows of strangers, but within the intimate orbit of family. It raises haunting questions about complicity, silence, and what it means to protect the wrong people at the expense of innocent lives. It also forces the community to confront something even darker, that those who appeared on the sidelines may not have been on the sidelines at all, that the spaces we pass every day, the RVs, the driveways, the quiet backyards, might conceal stories we cannot bear to imagine. And yet we must remember allegations are not convictions. Suspicion is not evidence. Until investigators confirm what was truly uncovered beneath that RV, Janie McKenzie remains a figure caught in the storm of speculation.
Now we know why she is not in the jailhouse right now. That's the only reason. I figured RCMP was up to something. They needed just enough to really get some answers and to prove for once and for all that they took the lives of Jack and Lily Sullivan. Oh yes, even Jack and Lily. That was anywhere from 5 to 7 days before 911 was ever called. The school even admitted that, and the sheriff office also mentioned that they didn't know when the sheriff was coming out. They had no idea when they were coming. I don't think he knew the moment that she called 911 because he was acting ignorant. He'd come out of the woods the same time the sheriff pulled up, dry as a bone. But you hear his tell it. He was walking through the swamp waist deep. Let's see. Turn around there. Let's see.
It's not right with the same finger.
Quit teasing me then. Yeah. Yeah, they was afraid of that too. Poor little old children all around this world.
Guilty nor innocent in the public eye. Still, the symbolic weight cannot be denied.
If that camper on the title says her name, she is responsible for anything 30 feet round of that camper, in or above or under. That is a state law.
Mother of Daniel Martel, a man already under suspicion, now finds her property tied to an alleged discovery. And whether or not the remains belong to Jack and Lily, this connection adds another layer of complexity to an already fractured case. Because sometimes in cases like these, truth and rumor overlap so tightly that separating them feels almost impossible. And when that overlap involves family, the very people who should have been protectors, the betrayal feels even deeper.
When she was having that conversation with that woman in that interview, she was getting so mad, and you try to say anything about Daniel, she'd try to change the conversation around. And then she'd be like, do I believe that my child's done anything to these kids? No, he loved these kids. He admitted he hated them kids. No, well, we know where he got his dumbness from, don't we? His daddy and his mama.
When news breaks of bones allegedly discovered beneath an RV, our instinct is to focus only on the immediate, the property, the people tied to it, the possible breakthrough. But the truth is bigger than one property tied to an alleged discovery. And whether or not the remains belong to Jack and Lily, this connection adds another layer of complexity to an already fractured case. Because sometimes in cases like these, truth and rumor overlap so tightly that separating them feels almost impossible. And when that overlap involves family, the very people who should have been protectors, the betrayal feels even deeper. When news breaks of bones allegedly discovered beneath an RV, our instinct is to focus only on the immediate, the property, the people tied to it, the possible break.
The bodies. Okay. And I don't know if y'all caught that second part. The bodies that have been found under her property. 2 sentences. The bodies found under her property. Anything 30 feet from the front, 30 feet from the side, 30 feet from the back, underneath, or above. That is her responsibility. And she just said that, but she said it quickly. They think people like me won't catch on to it, but I will. And that time she said, their bodies. She didn't say just skeletal remains or bones. She said, their bodies. Big difference.
True, but the truth is bigger than one RV, bigger than one family. Because even if this allegation proves true, it doesn't erase the fact that Jack and Lily should never have been in this position to begin with. This is where we come face to face with the systemic failures that haunt this case. For years, Child Protection Services had opportunities to step in. Reports of
Oh, how many times do we have to keep closing this case? Whoever was CPS, Daniel or Malaya one, or Janice Newell, it was a paid off deal. There's no way that someone could walk up, I would say, at least 20 feet from the place, where if it was taking place inside the shed, out in the backyard, out in the field, they bring it into the home. There's no way you don't know that meth is being used right there or cooked and paid off with dope. 4 times. 4 times they've been called on. And each time they left without anything being done. Should people hold whoever was working for the CPS at the moment responsible also for these children's welfare? Yes. They should get the same sentencing as the rest of them. You dadgum right. Yeah, they look. But see, what happened was, what a lot of people don't realize, and me dealing with horses and things like that, I've had to learn it. You can get a sack full of lye. If y'all don't know what lye is, it is a powder. A powder that will cover a stench. It is so potent that it will cover up cat piss. You sprinkle that, say, 5 of these, all over the top of the bodies around. You seal it up. Put concrete pad on top of it after filling it in with dirt. You would never, ever smell them bodies. Neither would the cadaver dogs. That's the only thing that could cover it up. Where did they get the allegation to look under her trailer? The woman next across the road. That's where. Because that little clip coming out the front door, going around, had his arms full. Then the video cuts. She gonna be in trouble too. It don't make no difference if she smashes that SIMS card forever. That thing has a cloud in it. Trail cam does. All they gotta do is hook it up to their little box at the sheriff's office and get everything that's ever even been looped. So her butt's grass too. And she did that to cover it up because she was getting dope from him too. Everybody in that spot back in there was doing all that junk. I just pray that them kids up at the other end of that road up in there, something didn't happen to them for being friends with Jack and Lily. I pray not, because they wouldn't be like about the same age. I think that little girl was 8. I think she was 8. I don't know how old that little boy was. 7, 6, 7, something like that.
Ability at
They
home,
rode the school
concerns
bus
raised
together.
by the school, signs that Jack and Lily were living in an environment that was fraying under pressure, and yet time and time again, interventions were delayed, minimized, or dismissed. By the time their disappearance was reported, the system had already failed to act on warning signs that could have changed everything. The school, too, has been pulled into this painful reflection. Teachers saw patterns that worried them, missed days.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't know if I told y'all this or not. This is going to make more sense to you about the Dumb and Dumber part. Y'all listen real close to what I'm going to say. Now, Daniel made a comment to Malaya, and she confessed it, that if they go back to school with these bruises, we could get in trouble. They could ruin everything. He said, oh, they'll be healed up before school starts back. I showed a photo of a little boy that got beat up in a daycare by one of the teachers. Then 4 months later, took another picture, and his eye was still nearly swelled shut. All right, there's that. That's proof of that. That children do heal quick, but it still takes a lot of time. Jack and Lily was covered with bruises from top to bottom. This nut job over here beside of me, her, huh?
Not me. You mean
Yeah,
neighbor.
the neighbor over here, that fella I threw off front porch over there. Well, he come back after he got locked up, and I don't. This is the dumber part of it. She come up to Barbara up there, I guess to pay on some rent or something. I don't know what it was. But anyway, both her eyes was black as just almost swelled shut. And she was like, "What in the world happened to you?" She said, "Oh, I opened the car door and hit myself right in the face." And I said, "Barbara," I said, "I know it would hurt." I said, "But go out there somewhere and open your car door and slam your nose and all in it and see what blacks up and what don't." She said, "I know, JD." She said, "He's beating her again." First time, okay, help out. You can't help somebody that won't help themselves. So the other day, me and Christina was leaving out of here, and there were 2 county cops sitting over there. And the very next day is when I went up there and did the rent. And she was telling me about it. People that are in abusive relationships, I know that they get scared because of the threats that's made. That if you leave me, I'll kill you. Or this, that, and other. Let me tell you something, love. A real man is set apart from a punk or just from a young adult. You have to be a gentleman before you can be a man. A real man will not put his hands on a woman like that. I don't care how you look at it. There's a difference in maybe if you got an abusive woman, pick her up and throw her over on the bed and say, "Quit." That's a different tale. But to beat a woman, that's not a man. That's just somebody taking advantage. I told her I didn't want to see her get hurt. And a buddy of mine come walking back up. Y'all seen it on camera. He asked me or said something other than I said, "Well, what do you think?" And he said, "I think he's going to jail because she's been beat up." That was the first go around. But to allow him to come back, I'm only helping one time. And that's it. Thank goodness that the landowner, the house owner for over there, told her he has to go or either you got to move out. So she put him on the road and he went back up to Chicago. Now, how long that'll last, I don't know. But stupidity is one thing. Being afraid is the second worst thing. A scared, frightened woman is one of the most dangerous things there are on earth. A man has to sleep sometime. And I'm telling you right now, my cousin did it. one time, not long after she got married. She got her orange skillet and knocked him out in the kitchen. And he was still laying there the next morning when she went to work. Whole side of his face was yellow and purple and green and black. That's it. He never bothered her again. And all he done was grabbed her by the hair of the head and threw her in the living room from the kitchen. But she wasn't going to tolerate it. She stopped it before it got too far. So women that are in abusive relationships, if you knock somebody for a loop, you will not be in trouble with the law. But it is best if you report it first. Not just before you do it, but go somewhere, wait till he's at a store and call and say, hey, look, I'm getting abused out here, or call a friend and at least say it to them. And then that way, if something happens again, you could call your friend back and say, oh, okay, he's done it again. Call 911 for me. That way, the person wouldn't have to see you on the phone calling 911 to have the chance to hurt you again before they got there. There's ways of helping yourself. No woman and no man either, and no child deserves to be in a home that is abusive.
Now I'm just having fun. Sorry.
Gianna Rodriguez. Hello and welcome. Yeah, I mean you got to. Yeah, you if you know you're in an abusive relationship, go ahead and tell somebody. That way, if things get bad, like I said, all you got to do is tell your friends, say, hey, call the police for me. And it'll be done. 5-year-old missing. At the tail end of all this, you can send me. I need a clip on missing children that actually shows the child and has a video clip with it, not just a screenshot that I have to read off because I can't see them little words. Make sure it's a little clip that tells like where they're from, what they think happened, the parents' names, whatnot, county, state, city they're in, and send it to me. So I won't help her again. Now, I'd let her in the house if he was after her, because over here he ain't gonna pull that crap. But what happens over there, if she don't get out of it, that's her own fault. And I explained this to her too.
Shifting moods, troubling stories shared in whispers between children and trusted adults. These were not ignored, but the response they triggered was slow, bureaucratic, caught in the red tape of mandatory reporting and overwhelmed agencies. For educators, the guilt is crushing. They did what they were supposed to do, and still, it was not enough. And then there's law enforcement. From the beginning, the RCMP's communication has been limited, sometimes opaque. Updates have been sporadic, details withheld in the name of protecting the investigation.
Hey, that reminds me, when you was talking about that four-wheeler, I'm going to end up having to get one before season gets in because there's no way for me to drag a deer out in the shape I'm in now. There's no way. I'll have to have me a four-wheeler. So if y'all don't care, if y'all are like, say maybe as close as like Tennessee area or anything, if y'all don't care, look on y'all's Facebook marketplace and stuff, and let us know if y'all can find a pretty decent cheap one that runs. Because if you read on down on some of them, they tell you what's wrong with them. There's a lot of stuff wrong with them. It ain't worth it. But if it runs good and it's a decent little old price, let us know. Because we're going to be doing a lot of outdoor videos coming up. And I got to have one. Like I said, I am not in shape to drag out a deer on my own anymore. I will have to have a 4-wheeler to do so. That's got a rack on front and back.
You know
So
how to make deer jerky without a processor, right?
yeah, I got Mama's dehydrator up there in her shed.
We
So y'all
need to
just
get that out.
keep that in the back of your mind. If y'all go through Facebook Marketplace, just take a gander and see. Bigfoot hunting. I tell you what, I'm gonna give some jack links,
Let me guess. That was
and we're gonna
Joni
go
that
out
said
there.
that?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna. I'm gonna get her one of them ghillie suits
oh my God!
and
No,
spray
you're
paint
not.
it brown, and let her come out of the woods,
No, you're not.
chase. Like you're gonna get me an hour from a jack link.
I will hit
That's about as close as what we gonna get to Sasquatch. Or
Excuse me.
While there are
Bigfoot.
valid reasons for caution, this vacuum of information has been
He's a
fertile
gimmick
ground for
now.
rumors, theories, and allegations like the one now surrounding Janie McKenzie's RV. The less the public knows, the more it speculates. And the more it speculates, the harder it becomes to separate fact from fiction. What we see in Jack and Lily's story is not an isolated failure, but a chain reaction of missed chances. CPS did not intervene when they could have. The school could not push harder with.
Beck, my thing here is this picture, this logo up here. The same one that's on this channel. That has JSV on it. This one right up here. Look for it, and it'll be the only. Well, there's a lot of junk holes, but it'll be the only one with that picture, and it won't have but like 10 or 15 friends on it. The other one had like 900 and something. So it'd be that one, and plus it'll say in relationship. So find that one and then hit me up on Messenger or Facebook, and I'll accept your friend request. Yes, a lot, Johnny. And I need that sent to me. Uh, like I said, a good article that I don't have to sit and read. Make sure it's a little video clip.
Out overstepping, police remained guarded even as public concern grew louder. And somewhere in the middle of all this, 2 children disappeared. If the alleged discovery beneath Janie's RV is real, if those bones do belong to Jack and Lily, then we must ask the hardest question of all. How did we allow their story to reach this point? How many times were their lives placed on the balance only to tip the wrong way because systems moved too slowly or not at all? This case is not just about personal choices about Malaya, Daniel, or Janie.
I'll tell y'all what we could do. Johnny, crazy as we are, do you?
Oh, I know that one already. Something I don't know about her.
I tell you what we do about these remains that's found under her camper. But don't forget that being a child that you're talking about there. Please send it to me. Hit me up back on Messenger so we can talk and stuff and get it sent to me. But what I was saying is that we know now. I didn't know if Ava would even consider doing things such as that. What we could do is tomorrow call out to Ava, explain to her what was found underneath her camper, and I guarantee you she can tell us who it is or what it is. And other than children and Summer and Rose, she's the only other one I'm going to believe, because I will not believe the media, period.
It is about structures meant to protect children, structures that are supposed to be stronger than any one person's silence.
Okay, so again, the structure. What did they do? Did they pour a pad of concrete, cover it up? That's 3 times now she's talking about under that. Well, whichever one it was, I think you said a 7-year-old or 8-year-old. Send it to me. But I got to have it in a video clip so I can watch it and hear it. I just can't read them anymore. They're too little.
When those structures
a missing
collapse, tragedy
8-year-old
doesn't just happen, it is
in
enabled.
Tennessee.
And that is the most painful truth of all. If the allegation proves true, if bones are confirmed beneath Janie McKenzie's RV, the emotional fall.
Can you sit up right here on the side and stick your head over here and talk to him for a second? Guys, I'm either fixing to fill this room with piss or I got to go run.
That's too much information even for them.
No, it ain't. I'm about to bust.
That is way too much information even for them.
You just don't know me. I don't have a
yes,
clue.
I do. That's way too much information.
You just get over there.
You can bite me. That's what you can do.
I will that, Paul.
Little does he know I'm probably into it. You know what? I'm taking his drink too while I'm at it. Eight-year-old just went missing. Me. I'm in his seat now. Mine now. Don't know JD's new page. Becca, I might have you on Messenger and I might be able to give it to you. I can actually see if I have you on Messenger real quick and give it to you. Oh, he's back. I might get in trouble for sitting in his seat. Hey, baby. I'm in your seat.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, I was trying to find back on here.
Huh?
She don't know your new page.
It's got that. What you hear her say? Let's see if we can get this thing.
Do I not have back on here? Becca Carter, right?
Yeah.
That's her. Right?
It's just.
Becca. Yeah, never mind. That is what I
Is that
said.
not charged?
It is charged. You have to hold it for a minute.
I did. I thought. Oh. Nope.
I am sending.
She's dead.
It can't be dead.
It is. See.
I haven't used it.
Well, it's been about 4 or 5 days since we charged it.
That is.
I mean, I don't
true.
need it in here, but if we do that outside, I'll need it.
I'm fixing to send it to you.
Here's some of these shoes.
I kept forgetting where I got put in there. But you remember.
Huh?
So I kept forgetting to
Yeah, I'm not
get some
all
when
bad.
I was in there. I kept forgetting to get them. What am I doing?
Be good. All right, Hush. God, let me get down here.
One condition.
Chew on that. That'd help me a little heartburn.
It's not little.
Well, a big heartburn.
There you go, Beck. I just sent it to you.
She sent it to you. Should pop up there a minute.
It should now.
Monday eggs. To Florida.
See if you can catch.
No, the garbage right there.
Thank you.
Fallout will be immeasurable because behind every rumor, behind every forensic team in white suits are people.
You talking about that clip of that 8-year-old girl or kid? Well, just send it anyway,
Oh, yeah.
and she can read it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't.
Oh, God. If I could quit fighting covers to cover up.
I've got to set me up another eye appointment because these are not working.
Parents, neighbors, communities trying to make sense of the unthinkable. For Cody Sullivan, the
But what do y'all think? I know I had to go to the bathroom real quick, but what do y'all think? Do y'all think y'all want us to try to get Ava involved? And she can figure out about the remains under the camper? And I can just tell you right now, I won't know the outcome if she's there when Ava gets there. If she gets in the way, it just wouldn't be good. Okay. All right.
biological father of Jack and Lily, the news would land like a final brutal blow. For months, he has clung to hope, even as that hope grew smaller with each passing day. He has spoken publicly about the agony of waiting, about the sleepless nights haunted by questions no parent should ever face. To hear that his children may have been hidden so close under the property of someone tied to Daniel would mean that the story he has been telling himself, the story of possibility of maybe someday, might collapse into the permanence of loss. For Daniel Martell and Malaya Sullivan, the silence that has already defined their role in this case would take on a darker edge. Their absence from the public eye has fueled suspicion. Their choice.
Samantha Shelley, who is that? Is that the child that's missing? Is that Samantha Shelley? Okay. All right, we'll get to it here in a minute. Just don't lie, but just
Their interviews, their body language, all
minutes.
have been dissected by a desperate community. But if evidence surfaces under the RV of Daniel's own mother, the question will no longer be about suspicion, but about complicity. What did they know? What role, if any, did they play in keeping these children hidden? And then there is the community itself, the neighbors.
Again, they would have to have enough of their remains to prosecute any of them. They can't just hold you on speculation. We went through that. They can't do that. They can do it for 24 to 48 hours. That's it. They have to have, without a reasonable doubt, yeah, I got that. This is what happened. So that again, and I know I was pretty rough on RCMP for messing up like they did. But I think the state or the state commissioner or whoever's over there had a good talk with them, and they cannot mess up again. If they do, I'm afraid that they would hire in a whole new group. They just can't afford to do that anymore. They've got to do this thing right. Yeah. Kind of leery there too, ain't it? So either it's one, yeah, either is the 100% that, well, it did come from RCMP, said that they did come to where Logan told, and that's where his body was. What was of it there? It was just 1,000 wonders that the guy that found a skull, was up there, and but thank God he was. even as harsh as that and nasty as that is. Uh, but with her throwing them temper tantrums, uh, not letting nobody come in and checking her place or his place, putting the new tarp down, uh, all kind of extra movement, around her camper, uh, building a concrete slab. That is a structure. Um, okay, Mickey. Okay. Uh, so, if indeed, when we get Ava involved in this, if neither one of the bones has a skull attached to it that's under her camper, and I asked Ava, do they have children's hands, bones, and children's feet, bones? And she tells me yes. I think it's just going to be fair game for her because she's covered it up. So she's an accessory. She knew all about it. And I think that before Logan went out and actually told the truth of what Malaya had him to go out and do, animals probably did play a factor in it. But with them being under her trailer or camper, if there's no skull attached to them bodies, and they do have human hands and human bones for hands and feet, there's no way that this woman talking here is stupid enough to not look at hands and feet. You can tell the difference in an animal and you can a human. My goodness. Okay. Maybe she needs to be in one of them psychiatric places or something. I don't know. But if that's what comes back, and Ava says it is, then I think she deserves what she's fixing to get. You said it. And the whole time she wanted to act ignorant to keep things away from pinpointing toward her camper. She wants to do things out in the driveway and do this in the backyard here and move around and burn toys and kids' clothes and, talking about swimming pools in the front dadgum driveway. All that is attention. Thinking, and I know her mindset because I've seen people like her. If she does crazy enough stuff, instead of sending her to prison, she knows that they could send her to a psychiatric ward and she would have the opportunity to get out after several years. But she probably wouldn't live that long, no way. But at least she wouldn't be stuck in prison, and that's what she's trying to go for. That's her goal, is not to go to prison, go to a psychiatric ward. And that's the best she can get. But I'm telling you right now, if that is indeed them children, and if she's there, I can't guarantee anything. I can't. I just can't. She won't listen to me once she gets started. And that's it. And I think old Daddy knows too. His dad, Daniel's dad. I think Cody knows. I think his mama knew. She said, I know they've done something to hurt them children. And there was a clip of her talking while sitting on the front porch. And she said, I still think they're close to home. But I just feel it that one of them have hurt them children. Yeah. Yeah. And that ain't going to be the only fun we have tomorrow neither. Because I'm going to have their nuts chased down as well. I'm going to ask David to get involved with him and find out where he's at and what's going on. We may end up hearing something that we will have to report to authorities. Because he's the type of person that would definitely take his life before he went back to prison. And there's just something hanging over me that he would just drive his car right straight in the water. Be full of pills or whatnot and just drive right straight in the water. No. But I think they're pretty well done with the trailer part because all that was a lie. That's just the place where the children lost their lives is in that trailer. And the children told us that. And so did Rose and Summer. Tomorrow's going to be quite interesting. And I won't even do that. If I hear, because I will ask the question, has he taken his life? And if she says, yeah, in water, they waited around a long time on these children, messing around. So instead of reaching out to Adventures with Purpose, I might dial very slowly on the phone a number to the police station up there. That may sound quite bad, but again, from me to them, I have no use for it. If you can hurt a child, you are scum of the earth.
Who waved to Jack and Lily, the teachers who worried but could not do more, the parents who now hold their own children a little tighter. For them, this allegation feels like a betrayal. That the answers may have been lying beneath a familiar driveway all along is not just horrifying, it is destabilizing. It makes people question what they know about those who live closest to them and what other truths may be buried behind closed doors. This is the paradox of a case like this. The closer we come to answers, the heavier the grief becomes, because clarity does not always bring relief. Sometimes it brings confirmation of the very outcome we prayed we would never face. And for a community that has already endured so much silence, the possibility of such a discovery is almost too heavy to carry. In cases like this, rumor often runs faster than fact. And in the desperate search for answers, it is easy to seize on every whisper, every claim, every alleged discovery. But when the words bones found enter the conversation, the responsibility.
This is a perfect example. Now, the last 3 days I've been wanting to do this, and I've just not been able to get out and do it. I'm wanting to go around this home with a SLS camera. And what that does, if there's a spirit anywhere, you can see it in the shape of a stick figure. Okay? That way I can tell if it's laying down, sitting up, standing above ground, whatever. And that will prove that it don't take much to show for a human body. Good night, love. Okay. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm wanting to do that. And I'm on, well, it's 10 o'clock now, so if we don't do it tonight, we'll do it tomorrow. Because I know tomorrow is going to be very interesting for all of us. And please share this with everybody that you know. Even if it's people you think wouldn't be interested. Just when you send it, that gets us further out.
To separate fact from speculation.
But even if she lays down, because she's got to work in the morning, I may still go ahead and, walk around and see what I can get. If I can, I'll sit up and upload it.
Becomes even more urgent. The truth is, forensic investigation takes time. If remains are uncovered, experts must first determine whether they are human or animal. If they are human, the next step is age analysis, followed by DNA comparison. This process can take weeks, sometimes months, and until those results are returned, any claim about the identity of the remains is speculation, not fact. For families, for communities, and for the children at the heart of this case, misinformation can be cruel. Imagine Cody Sullivan hearing the words bones found under an RV without confirmation. The hope he has clung to could collapse in a moment, even if the remains turn out to be unrelated. The emotional toll of false alarms can deepen wounds that are already unbearable. And yet, in the silence left by official updates, rumors will always find space to grow. This is why we must tread carefully. To acknowledge the allegation is not the same as confirming it. To ask questions is not the same as assuming guilt. The danger of rushing to conclusions is not just that we might be wrong, but that we might cause harm to the families waiting for truth, to the investigation seeking justice, and to the memory of Jack and Lily themselves. So as we face this allegation, we must hold both possibilities, that it could be the breakthrough everyone has waited for, or that it could be another painful misstep in a case already defined by heartbreak. Whether or not the allegation beneath Janie McKenzie's RV is confirmed, this case will always remain a wound. It is a wound carried by a father who still doesn't know what happened to his children, a wound carried by teachers who asked for help but were ignored, a wound carried by a community that wonders whether the signs were there all along. If the remains are proven to belong to Jack and Lily, the story of their disappearance becomes a story of concealment, of betrayal, and of a family connection darker than anyone wanted to imagine. If the allegation proves false, it still reveals the desperation of a community starving for answers, a desperation so strong that even unverified claims take root like truth.
Then, if it's not them, I don't know why I'm saying if. Okay, just bypass that. What's not to be? They know the person that put the bodies there. I believe the only reason she started out saying that it could be the bodies of Jack and Lily is because at first I thought she might be saying because it's got a skull attached to it and everything's there. But we would know on Jack's behalf that the skull would not be there, because the skull of Jack was up on the trail, and what was the remainder of some of it was still in a sleeping bag. If that's the case, and this is the deal, numbnuts went and moved them bodies. Daniel went back to look and make sure and kept an eye out to make sure that them bodies was there. They've been tampered with. If the timeline adds up that there was a bunch of movement and carrying on going up under her camper, then we know that, that they have been moved again. And that's what the infrastructure is under the camper.
And that is a tragedy, a systemic failure. It leaves families and communities vulnerable not only to loss, but to rumor, to speculation, to shadows masquerading as certainty. When the systems designed to protect children falter, the burden of truth falls on those least equipped to carry it, grieving parents, neighbors, and ordinary people trying to make sense of the unbearable.
Yeah.
But we cannot let Jack and Lily be reduced.
They've been moved about 3 times. Well, about 4 times. Closet, shed, the bridge trail, and then I guess what else was left could be what all the commotion was, and was seeing going on up and under her trailer, because they say you could see movement up and under her camper. If that's the case, then there is the rest of it. But she never once opened her mouth about a skull being attached to these bodies. With that being said, with Lily saying dismembered, then that's a 100%. Yeah, it was. But was it by animals or was it by them? And that's what forensics can find out. Maybe that's what Lily meant when she said, Jack's just a foot or two down from me. Maybe they wasn't as far apart as what they thought at the tail end of this. I mean, is it a coincidence that the neighbor took and showed some footage to RCMP, the sheriffs, and said, look at all this commotion going on, this movement at nighttime, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, going on up and under her camper? Does this look right to you guys? I mean, what's the odds of that? And don't take 24 hours for that ready mix to dry, and that's it. Especially as far as not telling everything and trying to delete footage off the trail cams. Yeah, sure enough. But at least now we know why she's not sitting in the jailhouse yet. But I bet you couldn't shove a toothpick up her with a sledgehammer right now. But because if it comes back, Jack and Lily, that's at 30 feet radius, that's her problem. And they will automatically sign a warrant for 2 counts of first-degree premeditated murder. I'm so sick of this. But tomorrow's going to be better. You're not going anywhere. Tomorrow's going to be a lot better because, like I said, we're going to get Ava involved, and that's something we don't do all the time. She is. 100%. Yeah. She admitted she's bought some stuff from Daniel. And I bet whoever was killing some of them other children up through there up that pipeline, I guarantee is somebody that Daniel's been selling to as well. I thought y'all was off as a good bed. I'd be so okay. It's already 10:04 now. Couple hours, she'll have to be laying down. She got to get up in the morning. Yeah, I guess just send me that clip, and she can read it to me tomorrow when she gets home, and we can see what we can do with that after we find out if this is Jack and Lily's, some of their remains. Because dealing with Ava, then I don't have any questions about anything. She'll tell straight up. She don't care if it hurts your feelings or not. She can't stand to see children mistreated. Come find out, I didn't know it till years later that Ava was about 5 months pregnant with a child when she fell. And I guess that's one reason why she's so cranky when it comes to children. And you really can't blame her. I don't. But I don't want innocent people in the way either. But anyway, y'all most definitely keep an eye on your devices. And please do me a favor. When y'all just sitting around or whatnot, if you got Facebook, go to click on Facebook Marketplace and see if you can find any cheap four-wheelers around, and just let me know. And I appreciate it very, very much. I love y'all, and I will see you tomorrow.
Bye. Sweet dreams.